Greetings everyone, my name is Emadiong Daniel, founder of PrimeTech Electrical. Today I am explaining capacitors types and application. If you are new, please subscribe and click the like button below. As we know, capacitor is one of the basic components used in an electrical circuit like resistors, inductors, and many more. The capacitor is a passive device that is available in a wide variety. They are classified based on various aspects. Let us know the detailed classification of capacitors along with capacitor types. What is a capacitor? A capacitor is defined as a passive component which is used for storing electrical energy. A capacitor is made of two conductors that are separated by the dielectric material. These dielectric materials are in the form of plates which can accumulate charges. One plate is for a positive charge while the other is for a negative charge. Capacitance is the effect of the capacitor. Capacitance is defined as the ratio of electric charge Q to the voltage V, and it is expressed as C equals Q, V, where Q is the electric charge measured in coulombs, C is the capacitance measured in farad, V is the voltage across the plates measured in volts. How are capacitors classified? According to structure, capacitors are classified as fixed capacitors, variable capacitors, trimmer capacitors. The capacitors are classified into two types according to polarization. Polarized, unpolarized. A polarized capacitor is an important electronic circuit component and is often termed an electrolytic capacitor. These capacitors are used to achieve high capacitive density. Unpolarized capacitors are preferred over polarized capacitors because it doesn't get destroyed by reverse voltage and can be used in pure AC circuits. They also find applications in DC circuits as they don't have positive and negative ends. The frequency of the unpolarized capacitor is high, and the leakage current is low. After understanding the classification of capacitors, let us learn about capacitor types. Types of capacitors. Let us now know various types of capacitors. Capacitors are categorized into two mechanical groups. Fixed capacitors consist of fixed capacitance value and variable capacitance with variable capacitance value. Beneath are a brief description of various capacitor types and their properties. Ceramic capacitors, film capacitors, power film capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, ceramic capacitors, film capacitors, paper capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, ceramic capacitors. A ceramic capacitor is considered to be one of the most commonly used capacitors. The material used in this capacitor type is dielectric. Also, ceramic capacitors are non-polar devices, which means that they can be used in any direction in the circuit. Ceramic capacitor symbol. Ceramic capacitors. A ceramic capacitor is considered to be one of the most commonly used capacitors. The material used in this capacitor type is dielectric. Also, ceramic capacitors are non-polar devices, which means that they can be used in any direction in the circuit. Ceramic capacitor symbol. Ceramic capacitor symbol. Depending on the availability of the capacitor, ceramic capacitors are classified into three groups: leaded disc ceramic capacitors, surface mount multi-layered ceramic capacitors, microwave bare leadless disc ceramic capacitors. Depending on the temperature range, temperature drift, and tolerance, ceramic capacitors are classified into the following classes. Class 1 ceramic capacitors. These capacitors are considered to be the most stable capacitors with linear characteristics. Class 2 ceramic capacitors. These capacitors perform better for volumetric efficiency, but their accuracy and stability are at stake. They find applications in coupling and decoupling. Class 3 ceramic capacitors. These capacitors have high volumetric efficiency with low accuracy and low dissipation factor. They are used in decoupling. Applications of ceramic capacitors. Ceramic capacitors are used in printed circuit boards that are used in high-density applications. Their non-polarity makes them suitable for general usage. They find applications in DC motors as they are used for reducing the RF noise. Ceramic capacitors are used in transmitter stations where resonant circuits are used.
Please subscribe and click the like button below.